Okay, I'm going to talk about lesson 2.6, which is on multiplying fractions. It's pretty basic, and we're just going to multiply using fractions. So here's how you do it. For multiplying fractions, you simply just multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So an example would be the number like 1/2 times 2/7. And 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 7 is 14. And so that's as simple as it is. You just multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. However, you will need to simplify your answers. These are even, so you can divide them both by 2 and you get 1/7. Next chapter, we're going to talk about algebra. So this is what it would look like with algebra. If you have a over b times c over d, we're using letters for numbers. A times c makes ac, and b times d makes bd. And when the letters are touching like that, it means you multiplied them together. All right, let's do a couple. We're going to multiply and then write in simplest form if need be. Multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 5 is 10. And 3/10 is simplest form. And so that's the answer. Very simple. Okay, number 2. 1/3 times 3/4. 1 times 3 is 3 on the top. 3 times 4 is 12 on the bottom. But we can simplify that by dividing both by 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that simplifies to 1/4. Number 3. We have to rewrite this one a little bit because 5 is not expressed as a fraction. But if you remember, 5 is a rational number. So we can express it as a fraction by writing 5 over 1. And now we can multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom and then simplify. 3 times 5 makes 15. 4 times 1 makes 4, so that's 15 over 4. Now what we have to do is we have to write it in as a mixed number or in simplest form. 4 goes into 15 3 times with 3 left over out of 4. And you have 3 3/4. Okay, that's the basic as it comes. That would be able to get you through the IXL for sure. But I want to talk about simplifying before you multiply because sometimes it's easier to do the simplifying first than it is second. So, if the numerator and denominator have a common factor, you can simplify before you multiply. And here is what I mean. 3 and 6 both have a factor of 3. So we can divide both of those by 3 and simplify. 3 divided by 3 makes 1, and 6 divided by 3 makes 2. And now we're going to multiply, and then we won't have to simplify when we're done because we already did it. 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 2 is 8. This becomes 5/8. So you see it in that simplest form. And so you see, if I would have not simplified first, I would have got 15 over 24, which, the numbers just could get bigger, and that's harder to simplify for some of us because the numbers are larger and there are more factors. Number 2, 3/5 times 10 over 1. So we're going to divide this by 5 and make that a 1, and divide that by 5 and make it a 2, because both 5 and 10 are multiples of 5. 5 is a factor of them. Now we multiply straight across. 3 times 2 makes 6. 1 times 1 makes 1, and then remember 6 over 1 can be just expressed as plain old 6. So again, I pulled out a factor of 5 because both the 5 and the 10 had a 5. Okay, number 3. This one's a little trickier because it has, these have common factors and so do these. So when you're looking at 6 and 9, 3 goes into them both. So I'm going to divide that by 3 and get 2. I'm going to divide that by 3 and get 3. 5 and 10, the common factor is 5. So I'm going to divide that by 5 and I get 1. And that by 5 and I get 2. And now we multiply straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. And that is already in simplest form because we did it ahead of time. If you wouldn't have simplified first, you would have got 45 over 60, which is correct, but you would have had to divide the top and bottom by 15 or by 3 and then by 5. So like it would have been a little trickier to do. All right, that is a lesson for the day. Let me know if you guys need anything. G9 is your IXL, and then we'll talk about the assignment when you guys come back. All right, talk to you later. Bye.